So I have a Google search thing that I get every day where Google sends me articles with keywords vegan and a few other keywords. And for the last week or so, couple weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, I've been getting a bunch of articles, headlines from vegoutmag.com. And I was like, oh, is this like a new magazine and they're just posting a lot? No, Veg Out has been around for like a decade, but their founder sold it just a couple months ago, I think. And so seemingly under new management, they have started posting more stuff. So yeah, I've been seeing a lot of it. I've read some of it, and for the most part, I've liked what I've read. I will say some of the titles, the headlines are kind of obnoxious, kind of cringy. If you wake up at 3 a.m. overthinking something you said years ago, you have these 7 unique traits. What? What does that have to do with anything? In fact, like most of the articles have nothing to do with veganism. 7 situations in life where you don't owe anyone an explanation. Now, I haven't read any of those. I've only read the like vegan specific articles, including this one, How We Handle Birthday Parties, Halloween, and Other Sugar-Fueled Events as a Vegan Family. And being a YouTuber has ruined me. I was going to say, and I really like it. Like, let's talk about it. But then I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. So people are more likely to keep watching because they don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I liked it. Let's talk about it. This is by Avery White, by the way. The first time our son came home from a birthday party with a goodie bag full of milk chocolate, marshmallow treats, and gummy bears dyed with carmine, yes, crushed beetles, he looked up with a mix of excitement and confusion. Can I eat these? He asked. And just like that, we realized vegan parenting isn't just about what we serve at the dinner table, it's about how we show up in spaces that aren't designed with us in mind. And I like this because I think this is the big thing that vegan parents will disagree on. When kids are out, whatever, eat whatever you want, or no, we want to make sure they have vegan options. Do we pack our own cupcake and risk singling them out? Do we let it slide just this once? Do we talk to the host, to the teacher? What about when it's a drop-off party? In short, it's a lot, but with some strategy and compassion, it's totally doable. I've said before, I understand both sides. Like, we don't live in a vegan world. There's just a lot of stuff. It can be a lot of pressure, not so much on the kids, but on the parents. Raising kids is already a thing. There's already a lot involved. And I can understand someone just going, no, we're vegan in the house, but if they're out at a party, whatever. And for the most part, that's what I've seen when I've read things from vegan parents. I've read a lot of, yeah, we don't stress about what they're eating outside the home or at school. Often you have one parent is vegan, one parent is non-vegan. And yeah, that's often what I see when I read articles like this. But in this case, it's the opposite. The author, Avery White, does more like we do, me and my husband, where we tell our kids what's in their food and like, yeah, it's not vegan. It's got cow's milk in it and we don't want to eat that, and try to make sure they have vegan options. So she offers some tips for doing that, and I think they're all really good, for people who want to do it. Obviously, set expectations early with your kids and with yourself. So she talks about having a conversation, age appropriate conversation with your kids. Like, hey, yeah, there are ingredients in candies and cupcakes that aren't very nice to animals, not very good for the environment. So we like to avoid those because there are so many other options. There are vegan cupcakes, there's vegan candy, right? We made it a game, spotting gelatin on labels, Googling whether red dye was vegan, celebrating discoveries like Sour Patch Kids and Unreal Peanut Gems. We also had to get real with ourselves. Kids don't need us to be perfect. They need us to be calm, consistent, and confident. Very well said. The goal is clarity, not rigidity. The second tip is more practical, like having vegan options. She talks about Halloween candy, and she does exactly what we do for Halloween, which is buy a bunch of vegan candy. And so we all go trick-or-treating. The kids get whatever they want from the houses. And then when we go home, we switch out non-vegan stuff with the vegan stuff. And then what we do with the non-vegan is we put it in a bowl and put it back out, and it's always gone. Like the other kids take it from us. For birthday parties, they have a just in case little treat, a cupcake or cookie or something. I've done that too, just kept something in my purse. Luckily, we have always had vegan options. Every party we've gone to, we're going to go to another one in a few days. I responded to the email, yeah, we'd love to come. Don't worry about food. We're all vegan. I'll bring a snack, smiley face. I always put a smiley face. And they said, oh, we'll have vegan cupcakes. We'll have vegan snacks. So yeah, Some parents text us before parties to ask what our kid can eat. When they do, we keep the answer simple. He's vegan, so no dairy or eggs, but don't stress. We'll send a treat along. Yeah, same thing here. And then for school, she says they email the kid's teacher at the start of the year just saying, hey, we're a vegan family. If there's ever a food-related activity, we're happy to send alternatives. I've done the same thing for kindergarten. They have a little meet and greet thing with the teacher and with your kid. And, she asked, is there anything that I should know? And I was like, yeah, just that we're vegan. And she was like, oh, okay. And she was already pretty knowledgeable. She knew about like gelatin. And even with my second grader, now going into third grade, but at the beginning of the year, she sent out an email asking, if there was anything. And I just said, yeah, we're, a vegan family. Like, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Now, she says she offered a list of shelf-stable snacks the teacher could keep on hand: fig bars, fruit leather, pretzels, vegan chocolate chips. That's the one thing we don't do. Well, my husband was like, no, man, make it the teacher's problem, and they should feel bad if they don't have anything for our kid. Dude, no. Look, there are going to be times parents bring in cupcakes for their kids. Like, that's not the teacher's fault, But our wonderful teachers, my kid's kindergarten teacher, always had Oreo cookies for my kid to make sure that they had something. The same thing with my older kid's first grade teacher a couple years ago. She always made sure she had something for my kid, which is so nice. But yeah, if you're going to have snacks, like daily snacks in the classroom, maybe make sure you have something vegan, something dairy-free, right? Kids have allergies too. Maybe just make it all vegan, dairy-free, allergy-friendly. I don't know. Just have oh my God, of course. As soon as I want to record audio. They've been quiet the whole time. Just offer them raisins, dried cranberries if you want to be fancy. Like, just dried fruit. Virtually no one has an allergy to raisins. And if the kids don't want them, maybe they're not that hungry. And the other reason, I just hate the whole snack thing in general. Like, I get there's some kids who literally aren't getting enough food. And it's a good way to help children, like, literally grow and be healthy. I get it on that level, but number one, 90% of the snacks, it's like fucking goldfish and fruit snacks and stuff. It's not healthy food. Number two, oh my gosh, these kids are eating all day long. It is crazy. I went as a volunteer on my second graders field trip just a few months ago. We get there, it's like 10 o'clock. It's still early. It's not lunchtime. Before we go on our little hike, we got there late too, so we already have less time to do our hike because the bus driver got lost. It was ridiculous. Oh, riding on those buses. God, I feel so nauseous. Anyway, we get there. We all have to sit down in the circle. All the kids have to sit down in the circle and get a bag of goldfish because they already need a snack. We go on our little hike. We've been walking like 40, not even 40 minutes. And it's like, oh, snack break. So our little group sits down and gets some sort of bar or something. And my kid is just like, no, I'm not hungry. They even had like a vegan thing. And my kid was just like, what? No, I don't know. Why would I need food right now? Like 15 minutes later, we go back to the front area and now it's lunchtime. What is happening? We went from back in my day, when I was a kid, there were no snacks. What are you talking about? Like, the only time we got food from teachers, Christmas party, Valentine's Day, hey, it's a special pizza party, right? Like, there was never just snacks in the classroom. No, there was never snack time. What are you talking about? To, hey, we're going to have like 4 snack times a day. Now, I have given some Lara bars to my second, almost third graders classroom a few times just because they were more worried about it, right? Like, my kid kept saying, oh, they said they're out of vegan snacks. And I was like, oh, do you need some snacks? They were like, no, I'm fine. But they were obviously worried. So I was like, okay, I'll give some, Lara bars. And at least that's, somewhat nutritious, right? We have an obesity crisis right now. Why the fuck are we feeding kids more food? Do we really want to teach kids they need to eat every 2 hours? But yes, communicate with your teacher was the whole point of that. I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Let the teacher know ahead of time, especially if they do snacks. The third tip I really, really like, which is focusing on why, you're avoiding certain foods instead of just, oh, we can't eat that because it has egg in it. We choose foods that are kind to animals, or we pick candy that doesn't use gelatin or bugs. And using bugs is such a nice touch, especially if you're explaining it to other people, not your children, but like non-vegans, especially if there are other kids who can hear. They're like, excuse me, what? But bugs? Who's eating bugs? You are, sweetie. I'm sorry. Over time, our kids started leading the conversation. I'll never forget the moment at a class birthday when our daughter turned down a slice of cake and casually said, "It's not vegan, but that's okay. I brought my own." They weren't left out. They were leading by example. That's so beautiful. I've said before, I've had very similar experiences learning about my kids, not only my 8-year-old, but my 6-year-old as well, my kindergartner, turning away popsicles and I think a lollipop because they weren't sure if it was vegan or not. To be clear, we're not like, hey, don't ever eat non-vegan stuff. Like, don't ever eat something if you don't know it's vegan. Not at all. You know, again, we just focus on the why we don't like to eat certain things, right? And they've just taken that to heart and have decided for themselves that they don't want to eat that stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It's just beautiful. I'm trying to imagine me as a kindergartner caring that much. I don't know, man. I can't picture it. I think I would have been like, cake? Popsicle? Give it to me. I don't give a shit what's in it. It's sugary. Make room for the gray areas, which I really appreciated because, right, that's life. The neighbor who surprises your kid with a non-vegan treat, the bake sale with unlabeled cookies, the cousin who insists their gummies are totally fine. Yeah, man, gummies. We've learned to triage with 3 quick questions. 1, is it a one-time moment or an ongoing pattern? 2, is the ingredient animal-derived or just processed? Yeah, that one, I don't agree with that. Who cares if it's processed? Number 3, what matters most, the food or the feeling? Sometimes we say, go ahead, it's not perfect, but it's close. Other times we say, let's save that for later and check it together. And sometimes, when in doubt, we let it go. Because mental health, social belonging, and family harmony are also part of a sustainable life. Yeah, well said. And the final one, celebrate the wins. Talk about their son had his first birthday party with a fully vegan snack table, pizzas from a local spot that does cashew mozzarella, cupcakes were oat milk based with coconut whipped frosting. Not one kid complained. In fact, 2 parents texted afterward to ask for the cookie recipe. The real win wasn't the food. It was that our son felt proud of his choices. He felt seen and he felt like the party was truly his, not an awkward compromise. That's so sweet. Don't cry. I just loved that article. I thought it was really well done, and it was nice to see from someone who is willing to teach their children that, yeah, we say no to foods, you know? I mean, we can't have this, right? But like, we choose not to eat certain foods, and that's a good thing. You know, it's nice to see an article like that, and not to say there aren't other parents doing that. I think it was Reddit. I found a long thread from people who are just like, it's really important to me that my kids know it is just food. And so why would we choose to eat something that came from such misery when we can just not? Some people saying they actually bring like their own vegan cake to a birthday party. That, man, I don't know. I can see someone saying, oh, thank you for having something ready, you know, so I don't have to do it. But I can also see it being like, what the fuck? That's rude, right? But, you know, there was a kid in my kindergartner's class who could not have dairy. And his mom at one party brought some of those Rubicon vegan cupcakes, right? She just brought some. So I was like, oh, okay, you do that? She was like, yeah, I basically always do that for parties. You know, I'd make sure there's something vegan or something non-dairy for him. I was like, oh, okay. So I guess it's socially acceptable, which makes sense. You know, we're more aware now of kids with allergies, right? And severe allergies and food intolerances. So it makes sense that that's acceptable and even expected that parents are going to bring their own thing, you know, or that, you know, if you're hosting a party, to make sure you have something. Because she even said for this party that's coming up this weekend that it's going to be vegan and gluten-free, you know, which is really nice. Obviously, I personally don't care about gluten-free, but I love that there is something for people who are, you know, like, I don't want anyone to feel excluded. Obviously, that's not totally possible. There are people with some weird allergies, right? Some really unique allergies. So it's going to happen. It's just really nice when virtually everyone is included. I should also say that our positive experiences with school and birthday parties and whatnot could be because we live in Portland, Oregon. Heavy focus on inclusivity here versus, I don't know, virtually anywhere else. So it could be that. I can imagine going to a birthday party in Memphis, Tennessee, maybe being a different experience. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I would love to know your thoughts. I know there's always a lot of debate around kids being vegan in general, but especially the socializing and all of that. And I know it makes a lot of people uncomfortable, non-vegan and vegan. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts. And Thanks so much for being here. Please do like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. And of course, thank you so much to all of my members here on YouTube and my patrons at patreon.com/unnaturalvegan. I do post 2 exclusive videos a month for tier 2 members and patrons. I do a vlog, and then I also do a controversial, which I just recorded for July. By the time I post this, it should already be up because it should be August probably, unless I just work every second of tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to do that. Anyway, thank you again. New video soon. Oh my God. What the hell? What's happening to me? I didn't even feel that. If I had my headphones on and like listening to music, I would not have known that happened. That went on for so long. Oh my God. Okay. Am I dying?